Welcome to week 5 of of organizational behavior. This is spring 2014 quarter. I'm your online instructor, Diana Block. And this week we're going to read chapters 9 and 10. And the chapters 9 and 10 PowerPoints are attached for you. And this week we're going to be studying groups and teams and just learning about groups and their influence and how teams are effective for the organization. So you're going to read those 2 chapters. And your assignment, you're going to have a discussion this week, of course, and you're going to talk about different groups that you've been a part of and how they relate to effectiveness of the organization and what you found memorable about those teams and how they work together. Then the assignment for this week, you're going to read the case that's on page 282, and it's pretty long. It's from page 282 to 284. So this is the only assignment you have for this week because this case covers both chapters 9 and 10. So you'll use content and information, terminology and concepts from chapters 9 and 10 to answer the questions related to this case. So here's your textbook. And the case starts at the bottom of page 282, and then it runs all the way over to the very end, the very top of page 284. And here's the 4 questions that you're going to answer about this case. So again, I just want to remind you, you're going to use terminology and concepts. So you'll use chapter summary and key terms from chapters 9 and 10. So the chapter 9 chapter summaries and key terms are on page 250, is on page 254. So you can refer back to the chapter 9 chapter summary and key terms also to answer the questions for the case on page 284. So when you look at these questions related to the case, the first one is, why is this group a team? And when you read through chapter 9, page 243 gives a specific definition of a team and explains what makes a group a team. So you'll want to refer to that information. A lot of people sometimes will give just a general answer. They're a team because they like each other, they work together all the time. That's not what makes a group a team according to the textbook. So in their textbook, page 243 at the bottom explains what makes a group a team, and that's the information that I'm asking for here. Based on what you've read in the article about this group, what specifically causes them to be defined as a team? And then the second question is, what characteristics predispose this team to ineffective decision making? And on page 249, I believe, there's information about some special issues that can affect a virtual team. Page 268 talks specifically about some of the pitfalls of group decision making, some of the things that can occur when you have a group of people making decisions together, why that can sometimes be ineffective. And that runs from page 268 to about 271, where it talks about some of the pitfalls of that could cause a group or a team to make ineffective decisions. Then the third question is, what characteristics of groupthink are manifested in this team? Groupthink is actually defined in the textbook, and a list of characteristics of groupthink are given. So based on the information in the article about this team, you're going to discuss which of the specific characteristics of groupthink that you believe apply to this team and why, what information leads you to believe they have these specific characteristics. And then the last question, they want you to discuss whether or not you feel this leader is effective based on the information that you're given. And the textbook actually does talk around pages 276 to 77 about how to lead a virtual team. And some good practices for leading teams is on page 261 to 263. So there's a lot of specific information about how to design a team and how to lead a team. And you'll want to use specific concepts from the chapter to answer all of these questions. You're going to make sure you have some concepts from the chapter summary and key terms in all of your responses in order to get the maximum credit for your assignment. Now, since we have a couple extra minutes, we just have this one article to read this week. I want to take some time to remind you that our movie analysis paper is coming up in week 8. We've still got a couple of weeks, but if you haven't gotten the movie yet, it's not a lot of time. So you'll want to make sure you secure a copy of one of the movies that are listed in week 1 in the paper instructions, and understand that you're going to analyze that movie using the terminology and concepts from the class. It's not a review of whether or not you like the movie. It's not, with the intention of just whether it was entertaining or even to make a book report of what happened in the movie. That's not the purpose of the paper. The purpose of the paper is to go through the chapter summaries and key terms from from week 1 all the way through that week 8, and see which terms and concepts that we've learned about apply to what you see happening in the film. So if you haven't gotten a hold of one of those movies, make sure you do so. That paper is due in week 8. So if you have any questions about this week's assignment or the paper or anything else, my contact information is in the instructor area. And if you can always email me or call me if need be. And I look forward to talking with you in the discussion area this week. Have a great week.